Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence for better understanding. If you really like my videos, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell button to get the regular updates. In the last video, I have discussed about the working process of a stop and wait protocol. I hope you have watched that video. If you have not watched that video, I request you to go and watch that video and come back to this video for a better understanding. In this video, I want to discuss about how to compute the efficiency of stop and wait protocol. Okay, in the stop and wait protocol, the sender will send a frame and the receiver will receive it. So, sender will send a frame and it will keep a timeout timer. Okay, within the timeout timer, if the receiver sends the acknowledgement and the sender receives that acknowledgement, it will send the next frame. Okay, suppose, so next frame, frame 1. If the sender sends the packet frame 1 and the receiver has received this frame and sent the acknowledgement. Okay, acknowledgement 0 because it has a 2 sequence numbers only. Okay, now because of some issue the sender has not received this acknowledgement within the timeout, then what it will do, the sender will retransfer the frame. So this is what will happen in the stop and wait protocol. So why it is called as a stop and wait protocol? Sender will send the frame and will initialize the timeout timer and it will stop the process. Is it clear? And it will wait for the acknowledgement. So that's why it is called as stop and wait protocol. So now we will discuss how can we compute the efficiency. Okay. Now sender has start sending the frame. Meaning is that the frame, it will take some transmission delay because the sender has to it has to send the packet, meaning is that first it has to keep the packet on the transmission link. So that delay we will call it as a transmission delay. We have 4 delays are there. One is transmission delay, propagation delay, processing delay and queuing delay. In one of the video I have explained these 4 delays in detail. So what is transmission delay is to keep the packet on the link. So it is by L by B, length of the packet by bandwidth, and propagation delay is equal to distance by velocity or propagation delay. What is this propagation delay? How much time it will take for the packet to traverse from the sender to receiver. It will depend on the distance between the sender and receiver and also the propagation speed. Okay, so that is what the D by V. And we have a processing delay and we have the queuing delay. These 2 delays will be depend on the hardware. So that's why we does not have a fixed formula for computing the processing delay and queuing delay. The processing delay is the time required to process the packet. It will be depend on the completely the hardware. Okay, and the queuing delay is how much time the packet is waiting in the queue. Okay, so for these 2 things we don't have a fixed formula. Okay, so the sender has transmitted the packet. So that transmission, it will take some time, which is called as transmission delay, and the packet has been propagated or sent to the receiver. So complete packet it will receive here. So this delay we will call it as a propagation delay because the complete packet it has to send. So complete packet it will come here. So this delay we will call it as a propagation delay. Let me write it as PR. Okay. Now once the receiver receives this packet completely, then it will try to send the acknowledgement. So the acknowledgement has to wait for some queue time. Am I right? So that is what we will call it as a queuing delay. So let's take that the acknowledgement is waited here for a time called queuing delay. Okay, and then it was again transmitted. The acknowledgement also need to be transmitted on the link. So again it is waiting for TT, which is the acknowledgement. These two things are for the acknowledgement, and this is for the frame, and even this is also for the frame. Okay, if you know this all these delays, then it is very easy. So once the acknowledgement need to send, the acknowledgement need to wait for the queue, and then it has to transmit it, and even it has to process it. Is it clear? And then it will send it. The acknowledgement will be propagated. So the entire acknowledgement will come in the propagation delay for the acknowledgement. Here the propagation delay is for the frame, and here the propagation delay is for the acknowledgement. Are you able to understand it or not? So the time taken is to send a one frame is that TT is the transmission delay for the frame, and propagation delay for the frame, and even queuing delay for the acknowledgement, processing delay for the acknowledgement. Here I forgot to mention, but here however we have a processing delay for the acknowledgement, because you have to process the acknowledgement, then transmit the packet on the link. We will call it as a transmission delay for the acknowledgement. Then again the packet need to be sent to the receiver. That delay we will call it as a propagation delay for the acknowledgement. So the total time to send one frame is equal to T, which is a transmission delay for a frame, plus propagation delay for the frame, plus queuing delay for the acknowledgement, then processing delay for the acknowledgement, plus transmission delay for the acknowledgement, plus propagation delay for the acknowledgement. So if you want to send a one acknowledgement, first the acknowledgement need to wait in the queue, and then it has to process the acknowledgement, and then it has to transmit the acknowledgement, and then it has to transfer to the destination, that is the propagation delay. So this is the total amount of time it is taking. Now what is the efficiency? Efficiency is equal to useful time by total time. Now what is the useful time? In the entire process, the sender has sent only one frame. Okay, so sender has sent one frame, which is a transmission delay, by transmission delay of the frame plus propagation delay of the frame, queuing delay for the acknowledgement, processing delay for the acknowledgement, plus transmission delay for the acknowledgement, and propagation delay for the acknowledgement. Are you able to understand? So in the useful time of the total time. So what is the useful time? You have transmitted one packet. So that is the transmission delay for the frame, and then this is the total time. If you see these parameters in the total delay, let me erase this one. Okay, if you see these parameters, the transmission delay in the total time, we need to consider the frame. Okay, is important, and then propagation delay for the frame is also important. We know the formulas also. Transmission delay for the frame, and also the propagation delay of the frame is important. And then queuing delay, if they give, you should consider. If they does not give, we will consider it as a 0. So for the efficiency, to make it simple, I am considering it as a 0. Or in the gate questions or any competitive exams, they give the queuing delay, you should consider it. Okay, so to make it simple, I am just making it as a 0, because I does not know the fixed formula for computing that one. Okay, and then processing delay also depends on the hardware. If they mention you ticket, otherwise you consider it as a 0. So 0 plus 0. And then transmission delay for the acknowledgement. Now what is the transmission delay? Length of the packet by bandwidth. As you all know that the acknowledgement is very small packet because it is just sending an acknowledgement, positive acknowledgement. It consists of the source address and destination address. It is very small packet. So length of the packet is small, then the transmission delay will be very less. So I will consider that it is very negligible one, and I will consider it as a 0. Okay, but however, the propagation delay for the acknowledgement, if you see that the propagation delay which is equal to distance by velocity, it does not depend on the length of the packet, whether the packet is small, whether the packet is large, it will just consider on the distance and the velocity. So you need to consider the propagation delay for the acknowledgement. Are you able to understand? So I can simply write it as the total time is transmitting the frame plus whether it is propagation delay of the frame or the propagation delay of the acknowledgement, it will take the same time. So let me write it as 2 into propagation delay, which is equal to 2 into d by v. Even we can consider it as a round trip time. In the total time, what we have done is that tt plus 2 into tp. What is the useful time? We have transmitted one frame. So the efficiency is equal to transmission or useful time by total time. So transferring a one packet by transferring the packet plus 2 into propagation delay. So if I simplify this equation, the numerator and denominator I will divide by transmission delay for a frame. So which is equal to 1 upon 1 plus 2 into Tp by Tt. So if you see several textbooks, they will mention it as 1 upon 1 plus 2a, where a is equal to propagation delay by transmission delay. Are you able to understand? So why I have simplified is that in some numerical questions, if they just give you the propagation delay and transmission delay, then if they ask you to compute the efficiency, you can use this formula and compute it. However, if they give all these parameters, queuing delay for the acknowledgement, processing for the delay for the acknowledgement, even the transmission delay for the acknowledgement, then you will consider the entire one. If they only give the propagation delay and the transmission delay, then you can substitute them and you can use this equation for computing the efficiency. And next, another important parameter is that throughput. Okay, throughput is equal to, we can simply calculate as efficiency into bandwidth. So in some questions or some gate previous questions, they even asked the what is the throughput. So if they ask you the throughput, you need to compute the efficiency and multiply with bandwidth, you will get the throughput. I hope you have understood how to compute the efficiency and throughput of a stop and wait protocol. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts in less than 24 hours. In the next video, we will discuss about the go back and protocol, and then we will discuss about the selective repeat protocol. If you really like my videos, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell button to get the regular updates. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.